Hi there and welcome. This is Vince of vinceprep.com and Agos Consulting. I love helping clients choose between multiple offers. Recently, people have been contacting me saying, "Hey Vince, I got into schools X, Y, and Z. How do I decide?" It's a very nice problem to have. And so let me share with you guys the logic that I often use in those conversations. It's basically three P's. PPP, people, program, and place. You can go online and there's a lot of people that would say, "Oh, it's all about ROI." So choose the school that has the highest, salary upon graduation, or choose the school that has the highest average increase of salary pre MBA and post MBA. I'm totally a poet, not a quant, and that logic to me, I don't know. I think it's too simplistic. So mine is three P's: people, program, place. Let me just briefly explain those three P's. So people should be obvious, but for people, what I literally mean is whenever possible, go to the admitted students weekend. So you've been admitted to school X, Y, and Z, and if a lot of times these things are on the same weekend, but if it's possible, um, fly to X, fly to Y, and fly to Z, or whatever. Maybe one of them is in your town, but anyway, go to X, Y, and Z. However you want to get there, it doesn't matter. Go to school X, Y, and Z, and there are your potential future classmates right there with you. And the people, like, ask yourself, sitting there, are these the people I want to spend 2 years with? And also, is this the network? Are these the people I want to see? Maybe not all of them for the rest of your life, but is this the club I want to pay a lot of money to join? Are these my people? There's really no better way than to go there and find out if you can. And if you can't, whatever, go online and figure out another way to try to get in touch with the people who would be your future classmates, and also ask them. Maybe one or more of them are also deciding between, X, Y, and Z, and you can find out a lot of great information, face to face that people aren't going to post online. That's people. Program is there something at one of these three schools or two schools that the other school just doesn't have? Let me give a quick example. In my case, I chose NYU over Harvard, over Columbia, which at that time was a sort of radical, crazy choice in some ways, because NYU School of Education in those days really wasn't ranked. It was very low in the rankings, if you will. And I don't know, I'm not a rankings guy so much. I'm a poet, remember? So I know I need to be in touch with rankings, but frankly, I don't know. Graduate schools of education in the United States, is NYU currently in the top 5? I have no idea. But I know back then it wasn't even in the top 25 school of education at NYU. So it wasn't about brand. It wasn't about rank. For me, it really was about the second P in my three Ps, which is program. NYU was going to teach me. NYU was the only school. Harvard does not have, maybe has now, but did not have, and Columbia Teachers College did not have a media lab. Right there on campus, where I could check out a camera and go walk around the streets of New York, which I just moved to not long before starting graduate school. I moved to New York before starting graduate school, and I figured I was either going to go to Columbia Teachers College or NYU. And I was actually working at Columbia Teachers College. I was working at Columbia University. I had a decent salary. I was making $50,000 a year. And I was getting free tuition, which 50,000 even in 2000 in New York City wasn't enough, but it was a good start. I gave all that up to go deeply into debt to go to NYU simply because I wanted to learn. I knew I wanted to learn design. So my degree is in digital media design for learning, DMDL, very long and hard to remember name. Digital media design and learning. I didn't want the theory of digital media design and learning. I wanted the practice of it. So long story short, NYU, not Harvard, definitely not Harvard, and even not Teachers College, was going to give me hands-on design experience with designers. And my best friend, once I got to NYU, as soon as I met him, I was like, you're the reason I'm here. He's a Academy Award nominated film director from Colombia, South America. They're on a Fulbright from Japan. Anyway, long story. Program is the second P. And finally, place. And this one is kind of counterintuitive. So I just got back in touch with a client who's about to finish Kellogg, who told me, way back when I was helping this person decide between Columbia and Kellogg. And this person sort of intuitively at that time, not so much strictly logically speaking, couldn't articulate, but it turns out it was the right choice for so many reasons. This person became a big fish in a very small pond, meaning top 3 finance people pre-MBA and post, pre-MBA, very strong finance background, absolutely knows, I'll use gender, I'll say she, but again, I hope I'm not outing this person for doing that because we keep client confidentiality at AGAC. Anyway, this person knows she wanted to work on Wall Street, and the simple logic would say, well, then therefore, go to Columbia, and Columbia would say, no offense, I love Columbia, but Columbia would say, well, I mean, that's a no-brainer because you can do school year internships at the companies you want to work with. Yeah, and the other logic says, be a big fish in a small pond, be the best finance person at a, quote, non-finance school, Kellogg. Recruiters don't want to hire only Columbia MBAs. They want to hire some Kellogg people. And she absolutely felt like she stood out. And in the end, she feels like she got a better offer post-MBA, having chosen Kellogg. And she'd also lived in New York City before. And she's like, New York City at some point before MBA, pretty sure New York City after MBA. Why go? Like, it's like too much New York, New York, New York. And also as a student, as opposed to a top finance person, you're going to suffer a little bit as living on a student budget in New York City, as opposed to a professional finance, strong finance person's budget in New York City. Anyway, place, but not just for the reasons the schools say. And again, no offense to London Business School or New York, who have this huge location advantage. But I had another client who went to Berkeley over Columbia. Same thing, like, I'll be the top finance person at Berkeley. And also this person was interested in Asian finance. So this person organized the Asia Finance Conference at Haas. No one was competing with him to do that. He's from Asia, wants to work in Asia. From finance, and wanted to simply, again, have a really nice place to live with his family for 2 years, which wasn't New York City, which was in fact the Bay Area, which is where I'm from. So that logic to me makes total sense. Anywho, 3 Ps. I'm not trying to make it overly complicated, I hope, but I guess I would say, just simply put, don't just chase the money. I know it's MBA, I know it's expensive, but think long term. Think 10, 20, 30 years out when it comes to these 3 Ps. So that's it for now. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe. As always, if you subscribe, you will be the first to know when I've made a new video. I love making these videos every chance I get. I really appreciate your time, your attention. Best of luck with your decisions, with your applications, and most of all with life. All right, thanks for watching, and bye for now.